Hi, everyone. My name is Adriana. I work for the developer relationships team at Elastic, and I'm here to introduce today Ashish, my colleague from Elastic, and Pritesh, developer advocate at ToolJet. And both of them will give a presentation. In the end, they will go over the Q&A. So feel free to add all of your questions in the comment section on YouTube. If you have any Elastic related questions other than about this meetup, you can find us on YouTube on our community YouTube channel where you are at now on Discuss or at the Elastic community Slack. If you're interested in presenting either in person or virtual at one of our meetups, feel free to send us an email at meetups@elastic.co. And if you would like to attend more meetups, you can find the nearest Elastic user group chapter by scanning the QR code, whether that is virtual or in person. We have many chapters on meetup.com, so I'm sure you can find one that's relevant to you. And now I'm going to add my colleague to the stage, Ashish, who will do a quick intro on what's new. And then after that, Pritesh will take it over from him. And welcome, Ashish.
Hey everyone, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, respective of corner from the different corner from the world. And hi, this is Ashish. I'm a senior developer advocate at Elastic and joined Elastic approximately 3 years back and having a 9 years of total experience in the technology. So yeah, today I'm going to give you the glimpse of what's new in Elastic, and yeah, we are moving fast and we are introducing a lot of new features. So it will be just an overview, but I'm happy to have any question, any doubts into the comment section, and happy to answer. So let me quickly share my slide. Um, okay, Adrian, if you can just confirm. All right. So, uh, okay. So, what's new? As I think you must have heard of. This is a big announcement. Elasticsearch and Kibana is open source again. So we are adding the new license, which is called the AGPL from OSI approved license, and we are adding this license to next to the existing two license, which is SSPL and ELV2. So which means we definitely Elastic was open source, and we were continuously supporting the open source community. And with the changing of this, there is a no doubt that, right, it leaves no doubt, no question that we are open source again. So please go and download the Elastic Stacks, play around it, and please share your feedbacks. So if you have any doubt, like any question, you can simply go to this wonderful blog written by Shai, and you will get your all answers there. Otherwise, happy to comment into the comment sections. So I think the quick overview of Elastic, what we are doing. So the as you already aware about, Elastic Stack is open and free, and now in 8.16 we are soon going to make it open source by adding the AGPL license. But still, you can use the Elastic, and a lot of organizations are using the community edition, and they are using on a very large scale. So Elasticsearch is a backbone of the complete Elastic solution, whether it's observability, search, and security. So at the quick glimpse, Elasticsearch is a no SQL search engine. It's sometimes it's a data store as well. Some people are using for just dumping the data, and they perform the heavy aggregation around it. So, and there's a lot of use cases. For example, you can use Elasticsearch for the caching because of its fastest retrieval mechanism. You can build your own search engine, right? Some people are using for the geospatial data type to store the geospatial data, so that you can perform the shape query around it, right? The circle, the polygon, and you can just provide the coordinate, and it will give you the record around that. Apart from this, on the Elasticsearch is a backbone, as I said, and it's a data store. So on the top of it, you can visualize all your data through Kibana. So Kibana is a, let's say, it's a visualization tool, but it is more of that. So Kibana is only works on Elasticsearch as a data source, and whatever the data is presented into Elasticsearch, you can visualize. You can create a dashboards, graph, charts, bar, the way you want. You can create your own dashboards as well. But it is not just a visualization tool, but it's more of, the management or admin panel kind of that. So how you can manage your indexes, you can apply the ILM policies, you can create machine learning jobs, you come here, you can create alerts. It's more of, the complete control panel for your Elasticsearch cluster. So yeah, and to be honest, in a lot of cases, mostly the 90% cases, you don't need to create your own dashboard. Your dashboard is ready. It's a pre-ready made, right? It's available. So suppose if you want to monitor the Nginx or Apache or maybe any database, you just go to the Kibana, you just, with a few clicks, add the Elastic agents and connect to the Elasticsearch, and done. It will start collecting the data from the particular host. It will push to Elasticsearch, and on the Kibana, your dashboard will ready. You don't need to create a dashboard, literally, right? So, and there is a n number of, I mean, there's a lot of integrations available, whether it's a cloud, whether it's you are dealing with the pods, you are dealing with the containers like Docker containers, Kubernetes pods. If you want to monitor the complete cluster, so Elastic Observability is your go-to solutions, right? uh, on the top of it, we having the search solution, right, where we are giving the app search, workplace search, and the custom search. So where you can connect a different data source. For example, we got the connectors, data connectors. So if you want to connect your workplace platform, for example, Jira, probably the GitHub, all the sources, you can connect with the help of the connectors. It will start pulling the data and push into Elasticsearch, and you can create the centralized search for your organization, right? Apart from this observability and search, we got the Elastic Security as a solution. So you can use for the SIM endpoint, the threat detection, malware detection, the CSPM, and all those, to cover all those use cases. Um, yes, and this is a very quick overview. I mean, I know it's very hard to cover the complete Elastic, but yeah, always there is a good documentation available. It's a go-to place for you. You go to the documentation and just get started. All right. Apart from this, of course, there is other capability. People are using Elasticsearch as a just, the strong, the data store or the search engine, right? Because it got the capability of the analyzer, you can say, the language identification, aggregation, the full text search, the KNN search, and all those stuff. And we are continuously making, a lot of improvement into the Elasticsearch, right? um, but nowadays, there is a things going on which is called the semantic search. If you want to create a search solution which don't work on your keyword, but the meaning of the keyword or intent of that keyword, then this is the place which you should leverage it, right? The vector search. So Elasticsearch is provide the vector capability as well, where you can dump your all the embeddings, all the vectors into Elasticsearch, and you can perform the KNN search and the nearest neighbor search kind of the query to give the semantic result. Apart from this, we got the ELSER. This is our proprietary model, which is the sparse generator model. So it's going to generate the same token, same context of the token, and it will store into Elasticsearch, and you can perform the semantic search. So in this, it is not just for a text, but whether you want to search for the similar images, a document, the audio, you can just create the embeddings, jump into Elasticsearch, and start performing the semantic search, semantic query, and it will give you the proper result. All right. So this was a quick overview, but I'm happy to have, if you want to discuss any of the point in detail, I'm happy to have a discussion around it. But yeah, what's new, right? So if you gone through it, and on the 8.15 release, we having this is a wonderful feature up. It's a semantic underscore text. So earlier we got it was mostly if you want to build a RAG, so it was a low code RAG, but now it's because of semantic underscore text, it's become a no code RAG totally. So how it's possible? Because semantic underscore text, it's a new kind of type, the field type we have introduced. Whatever data you're going to push here, it's going to take care of chunking automatically. So you don't need to write the business logic separately into your code. You just insert data as you are inserting into Elasticsearch, and Elasticsearch will take care of all the chunking mechanism and the embedding generation. We got the third party connectors as well, where you can connect the different LLMs like the Azure OpenAI, Gemini, Mistral, and on fly it will call those model for generating the embeddings. It's about the both the type, like a dense and a sparse. You can use for it, and yeah, it's so just index it and index the data and search as it is. You don't need to literally modify your query, right? Okay. Um, we have also introduced the logsdb mode. So if you are using the data streams these days, which is quite popular for the storing the logs, so we have introduced the logsdb with some of the improvements with the, and to reduce the disk space. And our benchmark says like it's going to reduce your disk space by 2.5x. So how it is possible? Because of the the some of the modification into the synthetic source. We going to sorting, apply the sorting on the host name and the timestamp, and of course the space efficient compression. We have applied all these three to make it more efficient. So just give a try if you are dealing with the time series data set and time series logs, which is the immutable logs or something like this. This is your go to data streams, right? This is your go to data mode. So yeah, you can just try it out the logs db. All right. Uh, the LTR is in GA these days. So when like LTR is in GA, and sorry for that. Okay, LTR, and if you want to just try, you want to do the re-ranking basis on the machine learning model and all those stuff. So it's now natively support into Elasticsearch. You can just get started with this documentation, and you can just apply. You can play around it. Yeah. We are continuously making the improvement into vector database, right? We have introduced the int4 quantization, bit vector support, and which give you the the 32x reduction in the size, which will definitely help you to reduce your disk space. So yeah, in today's the vector search era, this is the classical problem of that because of your vectors, your space uses is increased, and this is where the bit vector support and the int4 quantization, all those stuff is comes in a picture, which help you to reduce your disk size. And we are continuously making the leucine as leucine to make it a best vector database. We are continuously making an effort, and elastic is one of the heavy contributor to the leucine. And we recently released like the multi-segment hnsw graph search. So it again, it's going to speed up your search, especially for the knn queries. All right. Next, I think that is the most exciting thing, the Elastic OTel. So I think you must be aware about the what is OpenTelemetry, but here is the quick one. So the OpenTelemetry is a vendor-neutral framework which which allow you to collect the traces metrics logs from your distributed architecture, right? Whether it's your pod, whether it's application code, anything, right? And it's you can collect the data and you can push into any of the backend, any of the observability platform, and Elastic is one of those. So is Elastic involved in OpenTelemetry? Yes, deeply, because we have donated our Elastic Common Schema in a 2023 in 2023, and we are continuously making supporting the OTel community. So in 2024, we have donated our profiling agent based on a eBPF, right? We will talk more on that. We will discuss. But what next? So Elastic has released the Elastic distribution for OpenTelemetry. What does it mean? So there was a one native hotel agent, hotel distribution, and there is a now Elastic has released the Elastic distribution for OpenTelemetry. So which means you can, earlier you were using the hotel agent to collect the all kind of metrics, traces and all those stuff, and it was pushing to the collector, and then it was forwarding to the observability platform. But by using the Elastic distribution, of course you will get the all the feature which having the which is supporting by the native agent, but you can but Elastic is coming with the, some extra features, right? uh, what are those? We are coming with inferred span. So in inferred span, it is not just, you know, it's going, it is like a wall clock time profiling. So it's going to give you the complete visibility till classes and function, from which function your particular, you know, your particular trace is taking time or taking the high resources. So you can drill down, you can pinpoint to the exact method, right? The second one is the span stack traces. So if you are using the Java agent that include the span stack traces, it will give you the complete, like the if something exception occurs, it will show the complete stack trace here itself. And the most important third point is you can correlate your the universal profiling with these traces. So if I can witness if something one script or some of the function is taking a lot of time, lot of CPU, right? In a universal profiling, that function you can directly connect with your resources. Probably this is coming from this particular API or this particular resource. So you will get the complete visibility. Okay, now this API is called this particular script, and this script calling this method, and from that method you are getting the too high CPU utilizations, and you can optimize it. So it's going to reduce your debugging time completely, right? So yep. And yes, Elastic contributes universal profiling agent to OpenTelemetry. So you can go through this one of the issues, and you will get it. We have donated the uh, eBPF agent, like the profile universal profiling agent, to the OpenTelemetry, and it was a great merger. All right. If you got any doubt, I'm happy to connect on the social media, and feel free to, my DMs are open. Feel free to send me any question, any doubts, and I'm happy to help you out. So that's my time. Thank you, and I'll just will quickly have a look on the comment section, uh, and if you're getting any questions. All right. I guess Adrian, if you can help, is there any questions? I don't think so. All right. So I would like to call Pritesh to continue this meetup. And Pritesh is going to talk on a tooljet, how we can connect the tooljet with the Elasticsearch, and we can create a beautiful application. It's mostly the no code application. So Pritesh, over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ashish, for the podium. And I'm pretty sure with this new features of Elasticsearch, users are going to love and build more powerful applications in future. And yeah, so let me share my screen. All right. Can you confirm, Adreni, if the screen is visible?
Yes, it's visible. You there?
Awesome. Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. Awesome. Cool. So for the people who don't know, my name is Pritesh and I work as a developer advocate at ToolJet. These are my socials. Feel free to connect with me in case of any conversations around DevRel or low code or content creation and stuff. And yeah, in today's session, we'll be building an internal tool using ToolJet and Elasticsearch. And yeah, I'm super excited for the session. So let's jump onto the agent of the call directly. So we'll be starting with very basic, like what are internal tools, How, what are the challenges companies faces to build this internal tools, how tooljet comes into the picture, and how does it work, how you connect your Elasticsearch with tooljet. And also we'll be previewing the application, the flight tracker application that we are going to build from scratch in tooljet with Elasticsearch. What are internal tools? So these are custom applications built by organizations for internal use, for example, streamlining operations, improving the productivity, or reduce the manual work. Some of the examples can be admin dashboards, customer support tools, customized CRMs or HR management systems, sales and marketing automation tools, inventory management system, and the list goes on and on, right? So let's talk about the challenges that these organizations faces while building this internal tools, right? The first could be the high cost. So whenever or a company decides to build an internal tool, they have to allocate some developers, some other resources to build those tools, right? And that will cost some dollars to the company. Second, it's time consuming. We all know how traditional development cycle works, and it takes a while to build a tool, and that can impact the delay in the internal operations till the time the product is ready. Third is maintenance burden. So any tool or application that you build needs to be maintained, right? There will be some bug fixes, there will be a few feature releases and enhancements, and that will be going on. So it needs to be maintained as well. Fourth point is resource allocation. As I already mentioned, a company has to allocate some resources which could have been used to build the core product, which is actually contributing to the actual business of a company. So these challenges might affect overall efficiency and productivity of an organization. Yeah. So let me tell you what it takes to build a good internal tool, right? It should be having a good UI, right? Second, it should be able to connect with all the data sources of an organization. So an organization might be storing data into various DBs, right? Some data can be in MongoDB, some can be in Elasticsearch, MySQL, or Postgres, or Oracle, right? So these internal tools should be able to connect with these data sources to get in the data, and so that the users of internal tools can make proper analytics and other business decisions out of it. Cool. And also it should be easy to maintain, as company should be able to allocate as less resources as they can for the internal tools. And how do we achieve this? And here the tooljet comes into the picture. So, ToolJet is an open sourced low code internal tool building platform where you can build your internal tools with less cost, less time, easy to maintain, and it's super easy to learn as well. We have all the guides and tutorials ready for all the builders who want to build on ToolJet. So we have 20 plus database integration, Postgres, Oracle, Elastic, as I already mentioned. You can just connect with any of these. You just need to configure them, and it gets connected. We also have APIs and SaaS tool integrations. You can add your REST APIs, or GraphQL, or AppWrite, or anything that you can see on the screen. There are cloud storages and plugins as well if you want to get in data from these things, and we are constantly adding more data sources. If you have anything that we might add as a data source, feel free to reach out to us. We have our Slack community channel, and we are also open source, so in case if you want to contribute, you can also do that. So how do we connect Elasticsearch with ToolJet? This is, I'm pretty sure many of you are the Elastic users, and you might be curious, how do we connect it with ToolJet, and how can we build applications with Elastic and ToolJet? So it's super easy. You go to the data source library, go to Elasticsearch, and just add your configurations, and you are done. I'll be showing you how to do that exactly once I show you the demo of the application. And these are the operations that we are supporting right now for Elasticsearch. You can do search, CRUD for document, bulk operation, count documents, and everything. You can find the detailed documentation of all these stuff on our docs.tooljet.com, so you can go and check it out. uh, in the community version, few of the operation might not be available. We'll be soon releasing all the operation that you can see on the screen in the community version as well. Cool. Preview of the application, right? So this is the app that we are going to build. You can see total flights, delayed percentage, cancel percentage, the pie chart of delayed flight delay type, and whether you can also zoom in and you can check it, like what are the destination weather conditions out of the 100 flights that we are countering in. You can go to flight details, and here you can check out you can track the details of all the flights. You can click on any of these and it will show the data on right hand side. Also, you can update any of the data. For example, if I go here and it's I want to make it is cancelled, you can submit it, and it will update the data, and it got updated in the database as well. So yeah, you can do perform on any of the operations that I just mentioned. Once I build the application, you'll understand more how things work in tooljet. And we also have server side search, so I can search for example, Casper, and it will search from the server and it will get us the data. You can see I'm getting 28 records, and this is a server side search. So it's really good to have something which I'm directly getting from the DB and not from the query that I'm already having for getting the data in. All right. So this is what we are going to build, and let's jump on to building the application now. Firstly, you need to connect your data source. So you can go to data sources, and here you can go to Elasticsearch, and you can just click on it, and it will show this. Okay. And here you need to add your host and everything. So once you go to, I'm using the cloud version, you can host it on your premise as well. You can go to deployments and then go to your cluster, and you can get your Elasticsearch endpoint and you can put it here. And here you need to add your deployment credentials, and then once you're done with that, you can just test your connection and it will verify the connection. And this is how you just connect. You can add your staging and production credentials as well if you are willing to add those. Cool. Now let's start building the application. Let me create one now. Tracking app. Okay. Cool. So this is the app builder where we build application. Right hand side, you can see the component library from where we are dragging and dropping the components. We have basic components like tables and modals, to little complex one like Kanban board and charts and everything else. And at the bottom, you can see the query manager. Here we add our data sources and we get queries of the data sources that we're having. I'll be adding different types of query today for building this application. And on the left hand side, there is inspector, pages, and debugger and everything. So debugger is used to debug your queries. Inspector is used to inspect the components that you are basically dragging and dropping in the canvas. And you can create multiple page application. The one we are going to build is also multi-page application. So we are having two pages in this app. So let's quickly firstly rename this. The first page is dashboard. Second is flight details. Cool. We'll be starting with flight details. So yeah. So let's create a header first. Before I create a header, I need to change the color of the canvas because this is what the design is. So you can design your app and you can make your customizations as per your needs. So I have okay. This is the canvas color. Yeah. Now let me quickly add the container. So I'm creating a header component right now. In case if you want to add your own custom, so I'm sorry. Yeah. In case if you want to add your own customized components, you can add your React code and you can get your customized code inside Doctor Builder. Okay. So let me change the color of the header. So I have a blue theme for my application. So I'll be adding different shades of blue for this app. Let me change the border color as well. Cool. Now let's add a text, and the text can be flight tracking system or application, whatever you call it. Let's change this to 22 bold, and let me make it full. Cool. Now I can right align this and change the color as well. So for this, again, I have a shade of blue that I can add here. All right. Let me add one more header component that will be on left hand side. So I have to change this to left, and property is elastic. Okay. I can also add letter spacings here. Let's make it 3. Last thing up for this header is the divider component. So let me just add a divider component here. For divider also will be having a dark blue color. So let me color the divider. So these are the design preferences. In case if you prefer to have something different based on your design, you can add anything that you want. All right. Now we'll quickly add a table and a container for adding the data. Okay. Cool. Now second will be, okay, we just need one table, and we can add a container component here to see the details that we click on the table, the one that I just showed you, right? Okay. Increase the width, and yeah, here I can add the border radius of 8 and add the border color. Okay. Cool. Let's add a divider here as well. All right. Can change the color here as well. Can make it a shade of gray. Cool. Now, okay. Just okay. All right. Now let me add a text component here, and this will be flight details, and this can be uh 80 and bold. Let me make it center align, and let's adjust this a bit. Awesome. Cool. Now we need to fill the container with again a text component, and a text component, takes HTML, Markdown, and plain text. And the one that we will be using right now will be a Markdown. So I already have a Markdown with me, so I'll just put it here. You can, increase the width, and from this popover you can see the entire code here that we are using Markdown, and we'll be adding the details of these things dynamically once we start getting queries and data inside of the application. Okay, just go to Markdown, and let's make it 15, and this can be 2.5. All right, this looks good. Now last thing that we can add here uh, is the modal component. Okay. All right. This looks nice. So in modal component, we need to modify this a bit because we just need a small modal with the height of 180 pixels, and the title can be flight number. And here we'll be adding the flight number dynamically once I get the data inside of app. And last is the button label, that should be update. Okay, cool. Now let's add components inside of the modal. So we'll need two radio buttons, so I'll search for radio button. First will be cancelled, and this should be okay, wide, and okay, let's keep it here. We need a similar component. So in ToolJet, you can easily copy and paste your components, so you do not have to build each component from scratch. For this, let me just first change this to capitals, and now I can directly, okay, it already got copied, so let it be. Okay, so yes, we can have uh, the radio button 2 as cancel and radio button 1 as the boolean for the flight details. Just let me just adjust this a bit. Okay, this looks good. This will be flight delay. Okay, here also will be adding a small button that is for the so for submitting the details that we just update over here. So it will be submit. Okay, cool. So we are done with the UI of this application now. Let's start getting the data, and this is where the fun part begins. You can go to plus icon, and here you can see Elasticsearch. This will be the data source that you have added in your data source section. And here I need to write the query name. It will be get flight details. In index, I'll be keeping the Kibana sample flight because that is what I'm having right now in my Elasticsearch. And I'll be adding a simple query which will get me some 100 records for this. You can run the query, and you can see that we got the data. So data that we are getting here is little nested. You can see in heads, in sources, we are getting the details. And for that, I will be writing a small chunk of JavaScript so that we can get the data into this format. You can see in order to get the data inside of table, we need to put it in array of objects, and I can do that with this query here. Okay, so yep. Once you do that, you can see the output of the query in the code hinter, and once you click out, it will. Okay, there is some issue, I guess, with this. Let me quickly do it again. And we got the data. All right, you can see we got all the long list of data into the table, which we do not want right now because we just want limited number of columns, and we are showing the data on right hand side, which is really easy to read. So I'll delete ID index, and you can also write your transformation functions in case if you want to hear itself, or you can write it in your customized JavaScript or Python script, which is available over here. You can write your Go Plus, and you can write your Python or JavaScript code to get the proper data that you want to show, or you can prefer to delete the columns. For now, I'll just delete the columns from here. So I need flight number, origin city name. I need carrier, you can just drag to, change the column order. And last is the destination city where it is. Yeah, destination city name. So this is what we need. Go here and you can put it here. Rest of the things we are already showing on in the container, so we can delete this. And after deleting this, what we want is whenever we click on any of the columns, sorry, any of the rows into of the table, it should show the corresponding data inside of this container details. And for that we will be using the component properties. So each and every component comes with a list of properties. You can check our docs in case if you want to learn more about it. And you can utilize these properties to perform various actions, and you can get the data directly from the component to your JavaScript or to your query or anywhere else. Okay. So yeah, we are done with this. I know it took a little long, but now we are done. And here, in order to get the data of the selected row, you can write. Let me increase the size here, and here you can write components dot. Uh, you can write the component name. In case, in our case, it is table component, and then it is selected row, and then the row that you want to show. In our case it is flight num. Okay. And it should, once you close this and then select any of these, you can see that we are getting the details here. Okay. You must have seen undefined and stuff before, so in order to avoid that, will be adding a nullish operator. And I won't be I let me just add all of the details here. Not here, sorry. Here is where we need to add. And yeah, cool. So if I increase the size of this, you can see that I have added nullish operators for all of these, and there are emojis for cancel and delayed, and many more other JavaScript stuff. So you need to know a little bit of JavaScript in order to use this low code platform. Okay. All right, you can see that we are getting the data, and it is also changing while I'm clicking on different data sets. Cool. Now next what we want is we want to apply the server side search. So by default, if you see the properties of the table, you can see that the type of search we're using is client side. Meaning if you, let's say, search Rome, it will search Rome from those 100 records that I got directly from the Elastic. So in case if you want to search from the entire database that we have in Elastic, you need to add your server-side search, which is most preferred. Okay. And to do that, I have to update the query that I've written for my Elastic. So right now you can see this is the query. And you can write your custom queries based on your needs. For example, I'm writing right now, I need to add the server side source. So I'm just updating my query with this snippet where I'm saying that if I'm having the search text, then I need to apply multi-search. And in case if there is no search text, you can use match all. I've also added sorting for timestamp in ascending order. So you have power to modify your queries, Elasticsearch queries. Okay. And now if I run the query, I am getting the data, and yeah, whoa. So now, if you search, it won't work right now because we are yet to add an event. So whenever you add server-side search, you need to add an event. These events in ToolJet are similar to what we do in normal traditional JavaScript or React. We add event listeners and stuff, so it is similar to that. So you can go to a search event. An action can be to run a query. I will add a query, and you can also add debounce. I'll be adding a debounce of around 1 second. And now it should be working. So if I search for jet beats, you can see I got 24 records. Okay. uh, I believe there is, I missed out on something. Cool. Now if I search jet beats, you can see we got the record. And yeah, cool. I guess I have, okay, it got changed to so client side, and so you have to make it server side, or I didn't made it server side at the first place. My bad. So the first thing that you need to do is you have to turn this server side on, and then you can use the other features that I just created in order to make your table server side. So now if I search Casper, it should get me the server side data. All right, we got 28 records here. Cool. Now, what we want is, so every time I'm searching, there is a blank screen showing over here, which is not a good UI or a good UX, I would say. So you can add loading state. So ToolJet comes with loading state for each and every component. You can directly add this loading state like this. And now every time you search, it will show a loading here. I let me add loading state here as well. Okay. So now if I click on this, it will show the details. If I search array, it will show the loading state till the time the query is running. And once the query is done running, it will just show up the data. Okay. So yeah, this was simple. And now the last thing that we are left with is the update document thing. And before I move forward, I want to add a default behavior here so that it should show some data. I want, by default I want to put the first item as my default selected item. So I can go to ID and I can just put, you just need to copy and can paste it here. Cool. So by default, this will be selected now. Let's go to update, and here also we need to add flight number dynamically. So again, I'll be taking that from the selected row component property, table component property like this. And for cancelled, delayed, put it little up. Okay. Let's put it down. For cancel, let's add a default of can make it cancelled, and for delayed also we can add flight delayed boolean. All right, now we are done adding all the default values. So let's add a query which will update the document, basically update the information of a flight. So let's add update flight details query. You can go to Elastic, you can put the flight name, sorry, the query name, and here you can see, so this is the list of operations that I already showed. You can go to documentation to learn more about it, and here you can what we want is we want to update a document. In index we'll be adding the index, and in ID again we'll be getting directly from the component. Okay. Here also you can write your custom queries. Right now I just want to update my document, so I'll just put this here. And the value for these update I'm directly getting from my components. You can see radio button 2 and 1, 2 and 1 from where we are getting the data. So on completion of this query, I want to add some event handlers. You can do that here. So I want a success message to be shown here. So I can add a success, and this can be a flight details updated. Okay. Second is I want to close the modal. So you can go to close modal and select the modal. And last is you can I have to run the query to get the latest and updated data. All right, this is similar to what we do refetch in normal traditional development, but this is much easier and faster to do. So now if you see, this is cancelled, this is flight delay, and if I go to different item here, okay, believe, yeah, for example, if I go to jet beats or any other, everything is changing. So if I go to first item and if I open this, you can see cancel is true. Like if I make it false, and now it's time for adding event here as well, because we want to run a query which is the update query. Okay, now if you click this, it should ideally be updating, and you can see it got updated. Yeah, so this is what basically you can do with Elasticsearch. There are or other operations that you can perform, but for now I just use this to just show you what is the capability and what can you perform with this integration of ToolJet and Elastic. Now we'll be going to dashboard, and in dashboard I'll be needing this header component, so I'll just will be taking this header component with me. And yeah, it's simpler when you just copy paste components, because you can easily reuse the components and you don't have to recreate from scratch, and it saves a lot of time, trust me. So in styles, I go to text, make it left aligned. I just make it 20, and this is a dashboard. Dashboard. Okay, I need one more title, and this will be track and flight details. Okay, this I want to make uh, 14 maybe, and it should be of normal. Okay, all right, let's just put this little here. Now we'll add text component. This will be a metric component. I know it is not looking like a metric component, but just be with me for a few minutes and it will be looking like one. Okay, so we just need to change the design for this. First is, let's change the background color to white. Okay, change the border to this, and we need to make it center aligned. Also, let's change the color to this. Cool. And as I mentioned, we can add HTML as well in the text component. So I'll be adding HTML only in order to save some more time. You can see I have added some HTML and it will look like this. Okay. Now I need two more such components. So we'll be pasting it here. First is, okay. And yeah, in delayed, I can add and I also need to change the border here. Delayed, it should be delayed percentage, and here it will be cancelled percentage. Okay, cool. So now it's time to build our last component. It won't take much time now. We just need to put two containers like this. Let me just add some styling. Border radius can be 8 and border color can be gray. Okay, and I can just paste it here. Keep it here. Let me decrease the size and put it here. Cool. All right. Uh, just little up. Cool. This is looking nice. Now we just need to add two chart components inside of these containers, and we will be left with just adding some queries then. Okay. First is this, and second, again, I'll just copy and paste. I want to add a bar chart here, and this will be a pie chart. So just change the property to pie. Okay. So as I mentioned, in case if you want to extend your functionalities, and if you want to write your custom rules or custom functions to get in more refined data, or if you want to transform your data into some other data structure, for example, for this charts we need data in this data structure, and for that I have to transform my data to convert it in a specific manner. And for that I will be adding my JavaScript code. You can choose Python as well as uh, ToolJet is one of the tool which supports both of these, and I am more familiar with JavaScript, so I'll be using JavaScript here, and I can add my code here. You can check our documentation to learn more about what are the stuff that you can do with these customized script that you can add. Let me give you a quick overview of the script. I'm just getting the data first in the values, and then this function will get me the data for flight delayed chart. So I missed mentioning that the first chart that we are using here will be the destination weather chart. Let me update the titles for clarity. And second is the flight delay type. This can be like this. And now I can show you the functions. Okay, so flight delay type is here, which will get me the chart data, destination weather data, and then for calculating metrics also I have written some JavaScript that will get me all these details. And then finally I just return all the calculated items that are there in the script. Once you run this, you can see that we got the required data into the required format. Okay, now there is nothing much, we just need to connect everything here. Firstly we need to connect the matrix that we calculated. So I'll just put the matrix here. You can write queries run.js data and total flights, and it will get the data here. So it's really easy to get your data from your query manager to your UI. You just need to follow similar steps everywhere. Here also I just use the similar stuff, and last is cancelled percentage. Okay, so 25% of flight got cancelled, which is not a good news, but this is a sample data, so it's fine. So the sample data is again taken from one of the sample data sets that we have in Elastic Cloud. So it comes with a bunch of sample data to practice on. So in case if you are new to Elastic and stuff, you can use the sample data, and you can also check out the documentation for the queries that I've written. So even I was new to Elastic, I went through the documentations and video tutorials that helped me a lot to learn and learn more about how to write these queries and perform other operations. And this will be the uh, flight delay type chart. Cool. So this is how you do it. And once you are done building your application, and once you then you can click preview and you are done. And as I might not have mentioned, but you can add developments here. So you can go from development to staging environment. Then you can give your staging environment to your testing team to test your application, and then you can release it in your production. It also comes with features like role based access and stuff that I can come up now. So if you go to workspace settings and you can go to groups, you can create groups here, which will help you to give a certain permissions for your applications. And you can select the app also in which the group will have access to. You can restrict your data sources as well. So yeah, this and there will be some more workspace logins also. You can have a custom SSOs and workspace login. You can add your domains as well. So there are many things that you can do with tooljet, and it is really helpful and really easy to build internal tools with tooljet. So yeah, this is what I had. Thank you so much for all of you to join, and if there are any questions, feel free to ask.
All right. Thanks, Videsh, for a wonderful explanation and to showing the wonderful integration with the how you can create a quick dashboard from Elasticsearch.
Yeah.
I think you made a wonderful dashboard. I just curious, can I embed this dashboard into my application?
Embed, can you brief more on
Yeah.
embedding?
I mean, if I want to embed into my application or any HTML, so can I embed it with the help of JavaScript or
You
something?
Actually, these can be a public application and you can add them as iframe in case if you want to, but
Uh-huh.
it would be preferred to add your custom logins and
Yeah,
SSOs as your organizations stuff,
got it.
and that would be a preferred one. But you can always, if you make it a public dashboard, you can add it as that as well.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let me check if any comments is there. Okay, no comments, but I have one question. If I think it's okay. I have seen you are hitting some of the Elasticsearch queries. I mean, you are sending your records in some of the JSON format, right? So can I write my own custom query? Like it's not about just a CRUD, but let's say I want to perform an aggregation or wanted to add some scripts. We also having the painless script. Can I add just the raw variant of Elasticsearch and it will hit to the Elasticsearch and will get data? How it works?
So you can write custom queries for the present operations that we have right now.
Okay,
In case if you want to add something which is not there in the operations, you can request our community to add. Since we are open source, you can contribute and add the operations. But it is so for now it's not possible to add the
got it.
aggregation and directly a search query, but you can add customized query inside of the operations that. So just in tutorial also I just showed that I added a customized query to get a search data. So yeah.
All right, all right, great. So one last thing, I think we got a lot of visualization tool, and one of the USP I can say is it's allowed to perform a CRUD. It's not just the read operation, but we can do
Mhm.
the create, update, and all the stuff, and it's like we can create a CRUD application quickly.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
what do you think? What is for what specific use case I should go for a tool check?
For elastic for any
Or
type.
anything, yeah, in general.
So, in general, ToolJet is an internal tool builder. So you can build any type of internal tools. For example, you can make CRMs, admin dashboards, which organizations use. Usually have their internal teams to build. It takes like 6 months or one
Yeah,
year to build the application. You can build the same type of application with like half an hour or maximum 1 week after designing process and stuff. So it just spins up the Sentinel tool building platform really quick, and you also have to allocate less resources, and they can focus on the core business instead of allocating and maintaining this internal tools. So
awesome,
yeah.
awesome. Good to know this. And even I'm myself is going to get dive deep into the ToolJet. It's
Yeah.
quite fascinating. So
Yeah.
I think that's it for the day, folks. Thanks for joining. And if you got any question around the ToolJet about Elasticsearch, the comments are open. Feel free to dump your question, and one of from our team or from the ToolJet team will happy to answer there. So
Yeah.
thanks once again for joining. Thanks, Pritesh, for your time and to share the wonderful integration. I'm looking forward to do more such meetups with such advanced use cases.
Yeah.
So yeah, have a great day. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ashish. See you.